I'm just going to play it, and we're going to listen for a lisp type of sound. And if that's on there, actually, I should do that anyway. So I'll bring the threshold all the way down so you can hear the lisping.
No half steps from time, no half steps from time living.
So that's too much. So I'll bring the threshold up a little bit. Well, that's a lot of it, but we'll bring it up to here.
No half steps from time, no half steps from time living.
And I'll just keep playing the same section over and over until it sounds natural, but the timbre of the audio is not affected, because you want to keep it sounding as much the same as it was before you put the plug-in on, and you just want to remove the harshness.
No half steps from time living, no half steps from time living.
Too much lisping.
No half steps from time living, no half steps from time, no half steps from time living. No half steps from time, 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 no half steps from time living, no half steps from time living, no half steps from time living from, no half steps from time living from, no half steps from time living from.
By the way, this is what annoys the heck out of roommates. They're like, dude, what are you in there doing? Listen to the same piece of audio over and over. It's called doing my job. So this is what they pay me for, to make the stuff sound good. That's how you make it sound good.
No half steps from time living from check to check. No half steps from time living from check to check. No half steps from time living from, no half steps from time living, no half steps from time living, no half steps from time, no half steps from time living, no half steps from time living from check to check. No half steps from time living from check to check.
Okay, so if I wanted to hear what was being affected, just click on the monitor button. I think that does a pretty good job of isolating just the harsh parts of the audio. And again, if you want to bypass the plugin, well, in Reaper, I'll just click this. I don't know if there's a way to do it on here. I do know that if you put range to 0, it bypasses everything. But the idea is I want to see what it sounds like before and after.
No half steps from time living from check to check. No half steps from time living from check to check. No half steps from time living from.
Still lisping a little bit.
No half steps from time living from check to check. No half steps from time living from check to check. No half steps from time, 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 living from check to check.
Okay, so I had Fabfilter already set up. Let's listen to that.
No half steps from time, living from check to check. No half steps from time, living from check to check. No half steps from time, living from check to check. No half steps from time living from check to check. No half steps from time living from check to check. No half steps from time living from check to check. No half steps from time living from check to check. No half steps from time living from, no half steps from time living from check to check. No half steps from time living from check. No half steps from time living from check to check.
And Fabfilter has the same controls basically. Waves more than likely just ripped off their interface, but anyway.
No half steps from time living from check to check. No half steps from time living from check to check. No half steps from time living from check to check. No half steps from time living from check. No half steps from time living from. No half steps from time living from check to check. No half steps. No half steps from time living from check to check. No half steps from time living.
Now that's interesting. The word step.
No half steps from time living.
So steps is detected with the Waves plugin, but for some reason, Pro DS, it's not the case.
No half steps from time. No half steps from time living from. No half step. No half steps from time living from check to check.
It detects check to check, those two words, check and check. But in order for it to hear the word step, I have to increase the threshold, and then that actually makes the check to check sound lispy. Now, that means I'll have to reduce the range a little bit.
No half steps, I'm tired of living from check to check.
Otherwise, check to check will sound lispy once the word step is in here. Ready? So it didn't detect it.
No half steps, I'm tired of living from check to check. No half steps, I'm tired of living from check to check. No half steps, I'm tired of living from check to check. No half steps, I'm tired of living from check to check.
Okay. So there you go, everybody. I'm not going to say Waves is better, but I will say that I do think you can get very, very good results from a plugin that costs substantially less. Right now, I don't know if it's on sale or not, but the next time there is a sale, Sibilance could be probably like $29. Right now it's $49. Pro DS, the cheapest I've ever seen it was around $130. So just based on price alone, I say Waves is the winner. I do believe that you have deeper control, you have a better interface, you have a better, just overall presentation with Pro DS. You can get tighter controls, but a lot of times speed is king, and I think that the Sibilance plugin from Waves is quicker to get results with. And while maybe you can get better results with Pro DS, they're not going to be that much better, and I think Waves is way more than adequate. So yeah, it doesn't have like oversampling, and I don't know if it has MIDI controls or whatever the case may be, but I am very impressed by this Waves plugin. I do think that it dulls the timbre a little bit, but I actually prefer that for harshness purposes. You could probably EQ it out a little bit. But the bottom line is, I do recommend comparing these two plugins against one another. And the other one I would recommend trying out is the E² de-esser from Iosis. So between these three plugins, you should be able to reduce the harshness without taking away too much of the good signal. And by the way, for this video, I used the Waves one. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Adam for RealHomeRecording.com.